have you ever seen face-to-face an alien being?
Yes, I have. Absolutely.
Aliens? There is hardly a more controversial subject than the existence of aliens.
Those are aliens!
Sorry, I'm trying to record it.
Aliens! Aliens!
Even more contentious is whether they are interested in U.S. humans as a race. To make matters worse, the authority often conceal information about aliens and circulate the version of the truth that they prefer.
The component of the DoD office that investigates UAP data has testified before the Senate this year that his unit has found no evidence of extraterrestrial activity.
However, thanks to whistleblowers like Stephen Greer, the truth about aliens is coming out gradually. In his latest interview, Greer has finally broken his silence on aliens and claims they are coming. Humans have always been fascinated by the idea of life beyond Earth. The concept of aliens is quite old, dating back to ancient times when people looked up at the sky and wondered what was out there. Some ancient societies populated this vast, mysterious expanse with gods, spirits, angels, and demons, who were, in a sense, the first extraterrestrials. Others speculated about the possibility of inhabited worlds outside our planet, as proposed by earlier thinkers such as Democritus. The ancient Greeks were among the first to develop a proto-scientific understanding of the cosmos and the idea of a plurality of worlds. Anaximander, a philosopher who lived in the 6th century BCE, was the first to propose that Earth is a body floating in an infinite void, held up by nothing. This was a stunning insight that opened up the possibility that there are other worlds like ours. His successors, such as Leucippus and Democritus, invented atomism, the belief that the visible universe consists of tiny, indivisible, indestructible atoms churning in the void without purpose or cause. In this picture, worlds aren't divinely created. They simply form when enough atoms collide and stick together. Other ancient Greek philosophers, such as Epicurus and Lucretius, also embraced the idea of a plurality of worlds and explored its implications. They predicted that other worlds would have life forms similar to and different from those on Earth and even other races of man. They also argued that there is no reason to fear or worship the gods, since they are too far away and too indifferent to interfere with human affairs. These ideas were radical and controversial at the time, and they were suppressed by later religious authorities who favored a geocentric and anthropocentric view of the universe. However, the idea of aliens never died out completely. It resurfaced in various forms throughout history, especially in literature and art. From Dante's Inferno, to Kepler's Somnium, to Voltaire's Micromegas, to Swift's Gulliver's Travels, writers imagined other worlds and their inhabitants as a way of exploring philosophical, scientific, social, and moral questions. Artists also depicted aliens in various ways, from medieval paintings of angels and demons to Renaissance drawings of lunar creatures to modern illustrations of flying saucers and little green men. The advent of modern science and technology gave new impetus to the search for extraterrestrial life. Astronomers discovered new planets and moons in our solar system and beyond, some of which might be habitable for life. Biologists discovered new forms of life on Earth, some of which might be analogous to alien life. Physicists developed theories and equations that estimated the probability and distribution of intelligent civilizations in the galaxy. Engineers designed spacecraft and instruments that could explore other worlds or communicate with other beings. All these developments fueled our curiosity and imagination about what lies beyond our home planet. The idea of aliens has also had a major cultural impact, especially in science fiction. Science fiction has communicated scientific ideas, imagined a wide range of possibilities, and influenced public interest in and perspectives on extraterrestrial life. Science fiction has also reflected our hopes and fears about encountering aliens, whether they are friendly or hostile, superior or inferior, similar or different from us. Science fiction has also challenged us to think about what it means to be human in a vast and diverse universe. One of the biggest issues about aliens is not even whether they exist or not, but the secrecy that often surrounds them. Take the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, for example. NASA is the leading agency for space exploration and research in the United States. NASA has been involved in many missions and projects that aim to discover and understand the universe and its mysteries. However, NASA has also been accused of being secretive about some of its findings and activities, especially those related to the existence of aliens. One of the most controversial topics that NASA has been secretive about is the evidence of alien life on Mars. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun and the second smallest planet in the solar system. It has a thin atmosphere, a cold and dry climate, and a rocky surface with many craters, mountains, valleys, and volcanoes. Mars also has two small moons, Phobos and Deimos. NASA has sent several robotic probes and rovers to explore Mars since the 1960s. Some of these missions have detected signs of water, organic molecules, methane, and other potential indicators of life on Mars. However, NASA has refused to confirm or deny the existence of alien life on Mars, despite the growing evidence and public interest. Some commentators believe that NASA is hiding the truth about Martian life because it would have profound implications for humanity's origin, destiny, and role in the universe. Another topic that NASA has been secretive about is the UFO phenomenon, or unidentified flying object, which is any aerial phenomenon that cannot be identified by conventional means or explanations. UFOs are often associated with extraterrestrial intelligence or advanced technology. Many people claim to have seen or encountered UFOs throughout history and around the world. Some of these sightings and encounters have been documented by credible witnesses, such as pilots, astronauts, military personnel, and government officials. NASA has been involved in several incidents and investigations related to UFOs. For example, NASA astronauts have reported seeing strange objects or lights in space during their missions. NASA has also been accused of cutting off live feeds from the International Space Station, ISS, when UFOs appear on camera. NASA has also been sued by some researchers who claim that NASA is withholding information or evidence about UFOs from the public. However, NASA has always denied or dismissed any involvement or knowledge of UFOs, claiming that they are either natural phenomena, human-made artifacts, or hoaxes. A third topic that NASA has been secretive about is the SETI program. SETI stands for Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, which is a scientific endeavor that aims to detect and communicate with intelligent civilizations beyond Earth. SETI uses various methods and technologies, such as radio telescopes, optical telescopes, lasers, satellites, and computers, to scan the sky for signals or messages from alien beings. NASA has supported and participated in some SETI projects since the 1970s. For example, NASA launched the Pioneer 10 and 11 spacecraft in 1972 and 1973, respectively, which carried metal plaques with symbols and diagrams depicting humans and Earth's location in the galaxy. NASA also launched the Voyager 1 and 2 spacecraft in 1977, which carried golden records with sounds and images of Earth's culture and diversity. NASA also funded the High-Resolution Microwave Survey, HRMS, in 1992, which was a large-scale radio search for extraterrestrial signals. However, NASA has also faced many challenges and criticisms regarding its involvement in SETI. For instance, NASA's funding for SETI was cut by Congress in 1993 due to political and economic reasons. NASA also faced ethical and legal issues regarding its authority and responsibility to initiate or respond to contact with aliens. NASA also faced public skepticism and ridicule regarding its credibility and motives for searching for extraterrestrial intelligence. As a result, NASA has become more cautious and discreet about its role and activities in SETI. However, no matter how secretive NASA wants to be about aliens, they can't shut all whistleblowers. And these people have become the primary sources of information about the extent of what NASA knows about aliens. One of the most prominent whistleblowers when it comes to aliens is Stephen Greer. He claims to have insider knowledge and evidence of extraterrestrial life and covert government projects. He also claims to have the ability to summon and communicate with aliens using a technique called CE5. Here are some of the main aspects of his involvement with NASA and aliens. Greer has accused NASA of hiding and manipulating the truth about aliens and UFOs. He says that NASA has been involved in several incidents and investigations related to UFOs, but has never disclosed or acknowledged them to the public. He also says that NASA has tampered with or erased some of the images and videos of UFOs captured by its satellites, probes, and Rovers 1. He believes that NASA is part of a secret group that controls and suppresses the information and technology related to extraterrestrial intelligence. Greer has attempted to expose and challenge NASA's secrecy and deception. He has filed several lawsuits against NASA, demanding the release of its records and documents on UFOs and aliens. He has also confronted some of the NASA officials and astronauts, asking them to reveal what they know or have seen about extraterrestrial phenomena. He has also organized congressional hearings and press conferences featuring witnesses and whistleblowers who claim to have worked for or with NASA on UFO-related projects. Greer has claimed to have contacted and interacted with aliens in the presence of some NASA personnel. He says that he has used his CE5 technique, which involves meditation, consciousness, and intention, to invite and communicate with alien beings. He says that he has done this in various locations around the world, including near some of the NASA facilities. He also says that he has witnessed some of the alien spacecraft performing amazing maneuvers and displaying advanced technology. He claims that some of the NASA employees have joined him in his CE5 sessions and have confirmed or corroborated his experiences. Greer has criticized and warned about NASA's plans and policies regarding space exploration and colonization. He says that NASA is pursuing a militaristic and imperialistic agenda in space, which could endanger humanity and the planet. He says that NASA is preparing for a war in space, using weapons and systems derived from reverse-engineered alien technology. He also says that NASA is part of a cosmic false flag scenario, which involves staging a fake alien invasion or attack to justify its actions and to deceive the public. He urges the public to oppose and resist NASA's schemes. One of the most intriguing and controversial aspects of Greer's ufology is his theory that aliens are not hostile, but benevolent.
There was a male and a female, and it was made very clear to him by these beings that they were completely non-hostile. All extraterrestrial civilizations are non-hostile.
According to Greer, aliens have been visiting Earth for thousands of years and have never harmed or attacked humans. He says that aliens are interested in our spiritual development and evolution and want to help us achieve peace and harmony. He also says that aliens have a non-violent and non-interventionist policy and respect our free will and sovereignty. He claims that he has personally contacted and communicated with aliens using a technique called CE5. CE5 stands for Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, a term coined by Greer himself. CE5 is a protocol that enables humans to initiate peaceful contact with extraterrestrial civilizations through meditation, consciousness expansion, and remote viewing. CE5 is based on the premise that extraterrestrial intelligence is not only physical, but also interdimensional, and that it can be accessed through the universal field of consciousness that connects all beings. If you want to practice CE5, which Greer assures you can, you have to follow these steps. And before you know it, you are communicating with aliens. Form a group of like-minded people who share the same goal and vision of peaceful contact. The ideal size of the group is between 6 and 10 people, but it can vary depending on the situation. Then choose a location that is quiet, dark, and away from urban areas or sources of electromagnetic interference. The location should also have a clear view of the sky, and preferably some natural features such as mountains or water. After this, set up a circle of chairs or cushions and place some equipment in the center, such as a laser pointer, a flashlight, a camera, a tripod, a speaker, and a device with pre-recorded tones or music that can be used to signal or invite the extraterrestrials. Begin the session by relaxing and clearing your mind of any negative thoughts or emotions. You can use breathing exercises, yoga, or other techniques to achieve this state. Start the meditation by following Greer's guided meditation, which is designed to bring your consciousness to a deep state of unbound mind.
Now, let us become aware that the conscious mind, whereby we are observing our own breath.
In this state, you can access the universal field of consciousness and connect with extraterrestrial intelligence. Visualize your location in relation to the Earth, the solar system, the galaxy, and the universe. Use your imagination to create a coherent thought form that represents your group and your intention to make contact. Project this thought form into space using your mind and heart. Invite any benevolent extraterrestrial beings who are willing to interact with you to come to your location. You can use verbal or mental communication, as well as physical signals such as laser pointers or flashlights. Be respectful and polite in your invitation, and avoid any demands or expectations. Observe the sky and look for any signs of response from the extraterrestrials. These signs can include flashes of light, orbs, craft, sounds, telepathic messages, feelings, synchronicities, or other phenomena. Be open and receptive to whatever happens and do not judge or dismiss anything. If you see or sense any extraterrestrial presence, acknowledge it and express your gratitude and appreciation. You can also ask questions or share information about yourself or your planet. Be honest and humble in your communication and avoid any arrogance or aggression. End the session by thanking the extraterrestrials for their contact and wishing them well. You can also play some music or tones to signal your departure. Close the circle by holding hands and sharing your experiences with each other. However, before you commence your CE5 session, what evidence does Greer have that aliens are not hostile but benevolent? Greer bases his theory on several sources of evidence and arguments. First, he cites his own experiences and testimonies of other witnesses who claim to have seen or encountered aliens in a peaceful and friendly manner. He says that he has observed and documented many cases of alien craft appearing in response to human signals or invitations and performing amazing feats of communication and cooperation. He also says that he has received telepathic messages from aliens expressing their love and compassion for humanity. Second, he cites the historical and cultural records of various civilizations that have depicted or described aliens as benevolent beings or gods. He says that many ancient myths, legends, religions, and art forms have been inspired or influenced by alien contact. He also says that many modern spiritual movements, such as the New Age, have incorporated alien concepts or teachings into their beliefs and practices. Third, he cites the scientific and logical reasoning that supports his theory. He says that aliens must be highly advanced and intelligent, not only technologically, but also morally and spiritually. He says that aliens must have overcome the challenges and dangers of interstellar travel, such as cosmic radiation, asteroid collisions, wormholes, etc. He also says that aliens must have transcended the limitations and conflicts of materialism, nationalism, militarism, etc. He argues that such a civilization would not pose a threat or harm to a less developed one like ours. As you can expect, Greer's theory has been challenged and criticized by many skeptics and opponents, who argue that aliens are either hostile or indifferent to humans. They claim there is a lack of credible and verifiable evidence and the possibility of alternative explanations for his experiences. They also claim there are inconsistencies and contradictions in Greer's arguments and the potential risks and dangers of his actions. They warn that Greer's theory is based on wishful thinking, naive optimism, or hidden agenda. However, Greer's theory has also been supported and praised by many followers and allies who agree with his views and efforts. They appreciate his courage and passion for disclosing the truth about aliens and UFOs. They also admire his vision and mission for creating a better future for humanity and the planet. They believe that Greer's theory is based on factual evidence, rational logic, or intuitive insight. Another alarming and controversial theory of Greer's ufology is the cosmic false flag scenario.
The covert group has technologies to launch a convincing false flag operation detrimental to the national security.
According to Greer, the government is planning to stage a fake alien invasion or attack, using advanced technology and deception to justify a war in space and to deceive the public. He says that this is part of a secret agenda to maintain the status quo and to prevent the disclosure of the truth about aliens and UFOs. Hear out his evidence first. Greer bases his theory on several sources of evidence and arguments. First, he cites his own experiences and testimonies of other insiders and whistleblowers who claim to have worked for or with the government on covert projects related to UFOs and aliens. He reveals how he has learned and collected many secrets and documents that expose the government's involvement in retrieving and reverse engineering alien spacecraft, creating fake alien abductions and mutilations, developing advanced weapons and systems based on alien technology, and preparing for a cosmic war. Second, he cites the historical and political records of various events and incidents that have been used or manipulated by the government to create fear and confusion among the public about aliens and UFOs. He says that many of the UFO sightings and encounters that have been reported or documented by the media or the military have been staged or fabricated by the government. He also says that many of the movies, books, games, and shows that depict aliens as hostile or evil have been influenced or sponsored by the government. He argues that these are part of a psychological warfare campaign to condition the public to accept or support a war against aliens. Third, he cites the scientific and logical reasoning that supports his theory. He says that the government has the technology and the capability to create realistic and convincing illusions of alien presence or activity. He says that the government can use holograms, drones, satellites, lasers, mind control, etc. to simulate or fake alien spacecraft, beings, signals, or messages. He also says that the government can use false flag operations such as staging attacks or disasters, blaming them on aliens and rallying public opinion for retaliation or defense. Like any of his other theories that go against the establishment, this theory has been challenged and criticized by many skeptics and opponents who argue that it is based on conspiracy theories, speculation, or paranoia. They insist there is a lack of credible and verifiable evidence for Greer's claims. They also point out the inconsistencies and contradictions in Greer's arguments and the potential risks and dangers of his actions. They claim that Greer's theory is based on misinformation, disinformation, or ulterior motives. But then, this Greer's theory has its own followers and allies who agree with his views and efforts. They believe the theory should not be allowed to be discarded. Greer is also a fierce critic of the mainstream media, which he blames for spreading misinformation and propaganda about aliens and UFOs. Some of his main points are: the mainstream media is controlled by a powerful elite that wants to keep the public in the dark about the existence and nature of extraterrestrial intelligence. They use ridicule, censorship, disinformation, and fear-mongering to suppress any genuine inquiry or disclosure on the subject. The mainstream media is complicit in a long-term agenda to prepare the public for a staged alien invasion that would justify a global war and totalitarian control using sensationalism. The mainstream media is ignorant or misinformed about the true nature and origin of UFOs and aliens. They rely on official sources that are either lying or uninformed. They fail to investigate or report on the vast amount of evidence and testimonies that support the existence of benevolent extraterrestrial civilizations and advanced technologies. The mainstream media is biased or hostile towards alternative researchers and whistleblowers who challenge the official narrative on UFOs and aliens. They dismiss them as conspiracy theorists, hoaxers, or lunatics. They ignore or distort their findings and claims. They attack their credibility and character. Greer has presented various forms of evidence and sources to support his arguments. Some of his main examples are: 1. The Disclosure Project briefing document and executive summary, which contain hundreds of pages of documents, photos, videos, and testimonies from military, government, intelligence, corporate, and scientific witnesses who have had a direct or indirect experience with UFOs and aliens. These documents were submitted to Congress and the public in 2001 at a press conference at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. The Disclosure Project is an initiative that Greer founded in 1993 to collect and present testimonies from credible witnesses who have had direct or indirect experiences with aliens and UFOs. These witnesses include military, government, intelligence, corporate, and scientific personnel who have access to classified or secret information or evidence. The Disclosure Project aims to disclose this information to the public, the media, and the government, and to demand an official acknowledgement and investigation of the UFO phenomenon. The Disclosure Project has gathered over 500 testimonies from witnesses, as well as thousands of documents, photos, videos, and physical evidence. In May 2001, Greer held a press conference at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., where he presented 20 of these witnesses to the world. He also submitted a 492-page briefing document and a 95-page executive summary to Congress and the public. The public can support the Disclosure Project by signing its petition, which calls for a congressional hearing on UFOs and extraterrestrial intelligence. The public can also donate to the project, which helps fund its research and outreach activities. The public can also educate themselves and others by watching or reading the testimonies and evidence provided by the project. And 2, the Unacknowledged Documentary, which is a film that exposes the hidden truth behind the UFO phenomenon and the secret agenda to stage a false flag alien invasion. It features interviews with witnesses, experts, researchers, and whistleblowers who reveal shocking information about UFOs and aliens. The Disclosure Project legal team is a recent initiative that Greer announced in May 2023, along with attorney Derek Garcia. The legal team aims to pursue legal action against those who are involved in illegal or criminal activities related to aliens and UFOs. These activities include robbery, treason, murder, mass murder, torture, kidnapping and abduction, embezzlement and laundering of funds, illegal surveillance, false imprisonment, witness and whistleblower intimidation, framing of innocent people, and blackmail. The legal team also intends to file a RICO lawsuit on behalf of all those who have been wronged by these entities. RICO stands for Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, which is a federal law that allows civil lawsuits against organized crime groups. The legal team hopes that this lawsuit will expose the truth about aliens and UFOs, as well as hold those responsible accountable for their actions.